Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. I am Ahmad Espako and I am member of Group 3 and I am here to discuss my topic, which are the texture, the perspective, the space, and then the form and the volume. So let's go. So first is texture. Ang texture is tumutukoy sa itsura or sa pakiramdam ng surface ng isang artwork. So for example, yung mukhang rough, yung smooth, shiny, yung dull, fine, and yung coarse. So sa sculpture at architecture, yung mga texture nila is totoo kasi gawa sila sa mga materials like sa wood, stone, or metal. Kaya pwede mo talagang hawakan yung mga texture at of course mararamdaman mo yon. When it comes sa painting naman, hindi mo talaga mahawakan yung texture kasi flat lang yung canvas. Kaya ang ginagawa ng artist is ginagawa nilang mukhang may texture gamit ang brush strokes and then light tapos mga shadows. So parang illusion lang yung siya. Nakakatulong din yung texture para mas magkaroon ng depth at variation yung artwork. So for example, sila Paul Cézanne at Pablo Picasso. They use a rough texture sa mga paintings nila para mas maging strong yung visual effect. So that is the texture. So this is the example of rough texture from Paul Cézanne and Pablo Picasso. Okay, so let's proceed sa perspective. So, ito yung technique na ginagamit ng artist para magmukhang may depth or distance yung drawing kahit flat lang yung paper or yung canva. So, we have two types of perspective. We have the linear perspective and the aerial perspective. So, let's discuss first what is linear perspective. So, ito, gumagamit ng lines na parang nagmi-meet sa isang point na tinatawag na vanishing point. For example, kapag tumingin ka sa railroad tracks, parang nagtatago sila sa malayo. So, mapapansin mo rin na yung object na malapit, mas malaki at mas clear, di ba? Tapos, habang yung nasa malayo naman is mas maliit at hindi masyado detalye, di ba? So, parang pwede mo siyang i-apply into real life. The second naman is yung aerial perspective. So, ito naman ginagamit yung color at tone para ipakita yung distance. Di ba kapag malayo is parang nagiging lighter yung kulay niya? Tapos medyo grayish, tapos kapag sa mga bundok, parang medyo siya bluish. 'Di ba? So, for example, kapag tumingin ka sa bundok na sobrang layo, parang faded na yung kulay niya. So, instead na, ay, 'di ba kapag medyo malapit is parang green. So, kapag malayo, parang nagmumukhang blue na siya. That's it. So, let's proceed to the space. In art, sobrang importante ng space kasi dito natin makikita kung paano naka-arrange yung mga object na naka-drawing. Sa architecture, yung mga space doon is real or totoo kasi may mga interior at exterior yung building. For example, yung loob ng bahay, ang tawag doon is interior space. Tapos yung nasa labas naman is labas ng building is exterior space. Sa paintings, hindi real yung mga space kasi flat lang yung canvas, 'di ba? Kaya ang ginagawa ng mga artist is naglalagay sila ng illusion gamit ang mga techniques tulad ng yung perspective. Tapos kapag sa sculpture naman, of course may mga real space din kasi yung sculpture nag-occupy kasi sila ng space at pwede mo siyang tignan from different angles. So that is the space. Okay, so let's proceed to the form. So ang form is tumutukoy sa shape or structure ng isang artwork. So kasama na dito yung size, tapos yung volume ng object. And then ito na rin yung nagbibigay ng visual weight sa artwork. The sculpture is three-dimensional talaga yung form. Kasi for example, yung famous sculpture ni David na ginawa niyang Michelangelo na nagpapakita ng ideal human form. Sa architecture naman is may principle na form follows function. Ibig sabihin yung mga design ng building, Nakadepende yan sa purpose niya kasi. So, for example, yung bahay na nag-design ng based sa needs ng family. Habang ang church ay usually may malaking space na parang sa worship, and then of course may cross din yun. Artists also use shapes like triangles, circles, rectangles, cubes, spheres, and marami pang iba para makabuo ng form sa artwork at kahit everyday or yun nga, everyday object. Meron tayong iba't ibang different kinds of form. Okay, so let's discuss it one by one. And of course, I will give some real life example para mas maintindihan natin, di ba? Okay. Okay, so the number one here is the irregular form. So, are those whose parts are related to one another in a consistent, orderly manner. They are generally stable and symmetrical in about one or more axes. So, ito yung form na symmetrical or organized. So, for example, sa real life, ay basketball court, soccer ball, or dice dahil sa mga geometric yung shapes nila or panta yung shapes nila. So, yun yung regular forms. Sa irregular forms naman, are those whose parts are dissimilar and unrelated to one another. These are regular forms from which irregular elements have been subtracted or an irregular composition. So, when we say irregular, ito naman yung asymmetrical or opposite ng symmetrical. Okay, so yun lang yung differences niya. So for example is rocks, clouds, and the three branches. That's it. So let's proceed to centralized forms. So these forms na is meron tong main center. Tapos naka-arrange yung ibang parts na nakapaligid dito. So for example is yung mga fountain sa gitna ng park, di ba? So parang naka-arrange yung nasa paligid nito. And as you can see, parang may pointer stick dyan sa example natin dyan sa taas. So, yan ang centralized form from the word itself, center. Okay. So, sa linear forms naman, are arranged sequentially in a row of a series of forms along in a line. A linear form can result from a prepositional change in a form dimensions or the arrangement of series along a line. Ito yung forms na naka-arrange in a straight line or series. For example, row ng street light, yung train cars, tapos mga bahay na sunod-sunod sa kalsada. Yung mga parang pabahay. Good. So, yun. Okay, so let's proceed to the another form, which is the radial forms. So it is a composition of a linear forms that extend outward from central form in a radial number. So ito yung form na nag-extend palabas mula sa center. Ang example nito is yung electric fan, yung parang protection niya, tapos sunflower petals, and then yung spokes ng bicycle wheel. 'Di ba parang naka-curve ang parang bundok siya kasi mula sa center. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng radial form. So, sa last form natin is the grid forms. Ito yung forms na naka-arrange parang pattern talaga siya na parang squares or rectangles yan siya. Tapos, ang example naman ito is yung mga chessboard, yung mga city blocks, tapos windows ng mga modern buildings kasi parang parang sobrang perfect talaga yung pagkaka-arrange ng line niya na parang sobrang perfect talaga. So, yun yung grid forms. From the word itself, grid, di ba? So, parang grid, parang balance talaga siya. So, that's all for the different kinds of form. Okay, so let's proceed to the last topic, which is the volume. So, the term volume refers to the amount of space occupied in three dimensions. It therefore refers to solidity or the thickness. So, we perceive volume in two ways, by contour lines, outlines, or shapes of object, and by surface lights and shadows. Volume is primary concern of architects because the building always enclosed space. The building must have everything neatly pala in place no matter at what angle the lights fall on it or from what view we look at it. The outlines or shadow change every time the viewer shifts his position. The viewer therefore may obtain not one but many different impressions from a single work. The sculpture is also concerned with volume because his figures actually occupy space and can be observed from any direction. The direction of sunlight will determine the areas of light and shadow. The outline and shadows change every time when the viewer changes his viewing position. In paintings, volume is an illusion because the surface of the canvas is flat. The painter can only suggest volume to make his figure seem three-dimensional. The painter decides arbitrarily from what direction he wants the light to fall. He then paints the lightest portion bright and those in shadow dark. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Okay, so I will explain to you na briefly lang. So, ang volume ay tumutukoy sa space na ina-occupy ng isang object sa 3 dimensions. Ibig sabihin, ito yung kapal or solidity ng isang object. Sa architecture, mahalaga ang volume dahil yung building nag-i-enclose ng space na ginagamit ng tao. Sa sculpture naman, is mahalaga rin ito dahil yung sculpture nag-occupy ng real space at pwede itong tignan mula sa iba't ibang directions. Sa paintings naman, illusion lang ang volume. Kasi hindi ka pwede maglagay ng totoong volume kasi flat lang yung canvas. Ginawa ito ng painter gamit ang light at shadow para magmukhang 3-dimensional yung object kahit flat lang yung canvas. So, this is my topic. Thank you for watching and listening to my topic. Alam kong kaya nyo to sundan. And that is, thank you so much.